Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speaking Practice. I'm Jessica, and today we're covering 3 essential words that English learners use every single day.
Hey there, I'm Jack, and yes, today we're talking about the modal verbs can, could, and would. These 3 little words are so important in English.
They really are. You use these words constantly when making requests, asking for permission, offering help, talking about possibilities, and being polite.
Exactly. And the tricky part is that can, could, and would sometimes seem similar, but they're used in different situations and have different levels of formality.
Right, so today we're going to break down each one, show you when to use them, explain the differences between them, and give you tons of practice examples.
We'll cover how to use each one for requests, offers, permissions, possibilities, and hypothetical situations. Plus, we'll show you which is more polite.
By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to use can, could, or would, and you'll sound much more natural and polite in English.
Perfect. So everyone, let's get started. And remember, practice makes perfect.
All right, Jack, let's start with can. This is probably the most basic and common of the 3. What are the main uses?
Great. So can has 2 main meanings. First, it expresses ability, what you're able to do. I can speak English means I have the ability to speak English.
Right. I can swim, she can drive, he can play guitar. These all express ability, what someone is capable of doing.
The second main use of can is for permission. Can I go to the bathroom means am I allowed to go?
Or, you can leave early today means you have permission to leave early.
Now, we also use can for requests. Can you help me means are you able to help me or would you please help me?
This is very common. Can you open the window? Can you pass the salt? Can you give me a hand?
Can is casual and friendly, perfect for requests among friends, family, or peers.
We also use can for offers. Can I help you? Means, would you like me to help you?
Can I get you something to drink or can I carry that for you?
Now, let's talk about could. This is the past tense of can, but it has other uses too.
Right. So could expresses past ability. When I was young, I could run very fast, means I had the ability to run fast in the past.
I could speak French when I lived in Paris, or she could play the violin as a child.
But here's important. For one specific action in the past, we often use was able to instead of could. I was able to fix the car yesterday sounds more natural than I could fix the car yesterday.
Good distinction. Could is for general ability in the past, was able to for specific achievements.
Now, could is also used for polite requests, more polite than can.
Yes, could you help me is more polite than can you help me.
Could you please close the door, or could you send me that file?
The difference is subtle, but could adds a bit more politeness and formality.
We also use could for polite permission. Could I use your phone is more polite than can I use your phone.
Could I ask you a question? Or could I borrow your pen?
Another use of could is for possibilities and suggestions. We could go to the movies means it's possible for us to go. It's one option.
You could try calling him, or we could meet tomorrow instead, or that could work.
This is great for making suggestions without being too direct or pushy.
We also use could for hypothetical situations, things that might happen. That could be dangerous means it's possibly dangerous.
It could rain tomorrow, or she could be right, or this could be a problem.
Now, let's move to would. This one has several important uses too.
First, would is used for polite requests. Very polite, often more formal than could.
Would you help me with this is very polite and somewhat formal.
Would you mind closing the window? Or would you be able to send that today?
Would you mind is especially polite. It's asking if it would bother the person to do something.
Right. And you answer no, I don't mind, meaning yes, I'll do it, or not at all.
This confuses learners. Would you mind with no means yes, I'll do it.
Another major use of would is for offers. Would you like some coffee? Is the polite way to offer something.
This is so common. Would you like something to eat? Would you like me to help? Would you like a ride?
much more polite than do you want, which can sound too direct or informal in some situations.
We also use would for hypothetical situations, the second conditional. If I had more time, I would travel more.
If I were rich, I would buy a house, or what would you do if you won the lottery?
This is for imagining situations that aren't real or not happening now.
We use would for preferences too. I would prefer coffee to tea, or I'd rather stay home.
I'd rather is the contraction of I would rather. I'd rather walk than drive.
We also use would for past habits, things you used to do regularly. When I was young, I would visit my grandmother every weekend.
This is similar to used to, but has a more nostalgic storytelling feel to it.
Every summer we would go to the beach, or she would always make cookies for us.
Now let's compare these three. When asking for permission, which should you use?
Great question. You can use can, could, or may, though we haven't covered may today.
Can I leave early is casual, fine with friends or in informal situations.
Could I leave early is more polite, good for workplace or semi-formal situations.
May I leave early is very formal, used in very polite or formal contexts, but less common in everyday speech.
For most situations, can or could works perfectly.
Now, when making requests, what are the differences?
Can you help me is direct and friendly, perfect for people you know well.
Could you help me is more polite, good for people you don't know well or workplace situations.
Would you help me is very polite and somewhat formal, good for important requests or very polite situations.
So they go from casual to formal, can to could to would.
Exactly. And you can make them even more polite by adding please. Could you please help me?
Now let's practice. I'll give you situations and you tell me which modal to use.
Great.
Situation 1. You're with your best friend and want them to pass you the remote control. What do you say?
Can you pass me the remote? This is casual and friendly, perfect for a close friend.
Perfect. Situation 2. You're in a job interview and need to use the restroom. What do you ask?
Could I use the restroom? Or may I use the restroom? More polite and formal.
Excellent. Situation 3. You're offering coffee to a client. What do you say?
Would you like some coffee? This is the polite offer form.
Great. Situation 4. You're talking about your abilities. You know how to swim. What do you say?
I can swim. This expresses ability.
Perfect. Now let's talk about negative forms. How do we make these negative?
For can, the negative is cannot or can't, casual. I can't swim or she cannot attend the meeting.
For could, it's could not or couldn't. I couldn't understand him, or they couldn't come to the party.
For would, it's would not or wouldn't. I wouldn't do that, or she wouldn't accept the offer.
Now, can't has a special meaning, strong prohibition or impossibility. You can't smoke here means it's not allowed.
Or impossibility. That can't be true means it's not possible to be true.
I couldn't believe it means I was very surprised.
Wouldn't often shows unwillingness. He wouldn't help me means he refused to help me or was unwilling.
Now let's practice with a real conversation. I'll be asking for favors and you respond.
Okay.
Hey, can you help me move this table?
Sure, I can help. Where do you want it?
Could you put it over by the window?
Of course. Would you like me to move the chairs too?
That would be great. Thanks so much.
Perfect. We used can for casual request, could for polite request, and would you like for polite offer.
Now let's do another conversation. This time, let's talk about possibilities and hypotheticals.
Sounds good. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm not sure yet. We could go to the beach or we could see a movie.
The beach sounds fun, but it could rain on Saturday.
True, if it rains, we could go to the museum instead.
Good idea. What would you want to see at the museum?
I'd like to see the modern art exhibit. What would you prefer?
I'd rather see the history section, but I can do modern art too.
Great, so we could decide when we get there.
See how we used could for suggestions and possibilities, and would for preferences and hypotheticals.
Right. Could for options, would for what we'd prefer in different scenarios.
Now let's talk about some common expressions with these modals.
I can't help it means I can't control it or stop it. I can't help laughing when I see that video.
I couldn't care less means I don't care at all. Though confusingly, Americans sometimes say I could care less, which technically means the opposite, but is used the same way.
I can't stand it means I really dislike it. I can't stand this heat.
Could you do me a favor is a polite way to ask for help before stating what you need.
Would you mind, we mentioned, very polite way to ask someone to do something.
I would imagine, or I would think, are polite ways to state an opinion. I would imagine it's quite difficult.
That would be great, or that would be wonderful, are enthusiastic responses to offers or suggestions.
I wouldn't know means I don't have information about that. Where's the manager? I wouldn't know. I just started working here.
Now let's talk about some common mistakes learners make with these modals.
Good idea. One mistake is adding to after the modal. You can't say I can to swim. It's just I can swim.
Right. Modals are followed by the base verb without to. I can help, I could go, I would like.
Exception, would like can be followed by to when there's another verb. I would like to help you.
Another mistake is using wrong forms. Don't say I can to go or I will can help. You can't combine modals like that.
Right. It's I will be able to help, not I will can help.
Another error is using could for specific past achievements. I could finish it yesterday sounds wrong. Better, I was able to finish it yesterday.
And don't confuse can for ability with may for permission in very formal contexts, though can is fine in most situations.
Another mistake is answering would you mind incorrectly. If someone asks, would you mind closing the door? Don't say yes if you're willing to do it.
Right. Say no, not at all, or no, I don't mind. The no means you don't mind doing it.
This confuses so many learners.
Now, let's practice a more complex conversation using all three modals in different situations.
Great. I'll be a customer at a store. You're the employee. Excuse me, could you help me find the electronics section?
Of course. I can show you where it is. Would you like me to walk you there?
That would be wonderful, thank you. I'm looking for headphones. What would you recommend?
Well, you could try these wireless ones. They're very popular. Or if you prefer, you could look at these noise-canceling ones.
The wireless ones sound good. Can I try them before buying?
Absolutely. You can test them right here. Would you like to listen to some music?
Yes, please. Oh, these are great. I couldn't hear anything around me when I had them on.
They have excellent sound quality. Would you like me to ring these up for you?
Actually, could you show me the noise-canceling ones too? I can't decide which would be better for traveling.
Sure. These ones would be perfect for travel. They can block out airplane noise really well.
Excellent. We used all three modals naturally throughout that conversation.
Right. Could for polite requests, can for ability and permission, would for offers and hypotheticals.
Now, your homework. This week, pay attention to how native speakers use can, could, and would in movies, TV shows, or podcasts.
Notice which one they choose in different situations. Is it a casual request with friends? Probably can. A polite request to a stranger? Probably could or would.
Now practice making 3 requests this week using different modals. Try can you with a friend, could you with a coworker, and would you in a formal situation.
Also, practice offering things using would you like. This is such a useful and polite pattern.
The more you practice, the more natural these will become.
All right, let's recap everything we learned today.
We learned that can expresses ability, I can swim, permission, can I go, requests, can you help, and offers, can I help you.
We learned that could expresses past ability, I could run fast when I was young, polite requests, could you help, polite permission, could I leave, possibilities and suggestions, we could try that, and hypothetical situations, that could be dangerous.
We learned that would expresses polite requests, would you help, offers, would you like coffee, hypothetical situations, if I were rich, I would travel, preferences, I would prefer tea, and past habits,
I would visit her every week.
We learned the politeness scale for requests. Can, casual. Could, polite. Would, very polite or formal.
We learned that would you like is the standard polite offer structure, and would you mind is very polite for requests.
We learned negatives. Can't/cannot. Couldn't/could not. Wouldn't/would not, and their special meanings.
We learned common expressions. I can't help it. I couldn't care less. Would you mind? That would be great.
We learned common mistakes. Don't add to after modals, except for would like to. Don't combine modals. Use was able to for specific past achievements. Answer would you mind correctly.
And we practiced with multiple realistic conversations.
Right. These three modals are essential for polite, natural English. You'll use them every single day.
Start with the most common uses, requests, offers, and expressing an ability, and build from there.
Don't worry about being perfect. Even if you use can when could might be slightly more polite, native speakers will still understand you perfectly.
The key is practice and exposure. The more you use them, the more you'll develop an instinct for which one to use.
If you found this episode helpful, let us know. Leave a comment and tell us which modal you find most challenging, can, could, or would.
Or practice by writing a sentence using each one correctly.
Next time, we're covering should, must, and have to. More essential modal verbs for giving advice, talking about obligations, and making recommendations.
Until then, practice these three modals, be polite, and keep improving your English.
You can do this. Or should I say you could do this? Or would you like to do this?
All of the above. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
See you next time.